Unit 3, Mission Impossible.
Men wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in case of success.
Who would answer such an ad? It is said that Sir Ernest Shackleton placed the ad in a London newspaper. The great British explorer was seeking crew members for his 1914 Imperial Trans-Antarctic expedition. Believe it or not, people from all walks of life applied to join the team. Earlier in 1907, Shackleton and the British Antarctic expedition set sail in the Nimrod to reach the South Pole. Shackleton set a record for going the farthest south, reaching 88 degrees 23 south. Unfortunately, however, he had to turn back 156 kilometers from the South Pole rather than risk the lives of his men. Writing to his wife, he explained,
"I thought you'd rather have a live donkey than a dead lion."
Other explorers were luckier than Shackleton. Roald Amundsen, for example, reached the South Pole in 1911. Since the South Pole had already been conquered, Shackleton set the bar higher. He would attempt the first crossing of Antarctica, from the Weddell Sea to the Ross Sea, a distance of about 2,897 kilometers. In 1914, Shackleton and a crew of 27 started the daring expedition aboard the Endurance. Shackleton had confidence, but no idea what he and his men would have to go through.
October 26, 1914.
With the last crew member on board, the Endurance leaves Buenos Aires, Argentina for South Georgia.
December 5, 1914.
The Endurance departs from the Grytviken whaling station, South Georgia.
December 7, 1914.
The Endurance enters the Antarctic pack ice.
January 10, 1915.
The crew sights the Antarctic continent, Coates Land.
January 18, 1915.
The Endurance becomes stuck in pack ice.
May 1, 1915.
The sun vanishes, not to appear again for 4 months.
October 27, 1915.
Disappointed yet hopeful, Shackleton gives the order to abandon the Endurance.
November 21, 1915.
Saying,
"She's going, boys."
Shackleton watches the Endurance sink.
December 23, 1915.
The crew again begins to march toward open water, averaging just 2.4 kilometers a day.
March 30, 1916.
The crew shoots the remaining dogs for food.
April 7, 1916.
Elephant Island appears on the horizon.
April 9, 1916.
The crew goes to sea in 3 lifeboats.
April 16, 1916.
After 7 grueling days at sea, the lifeboats land safely on Elephant Island.
April 24, 1916.
Shackleton and 5 men begin a 1,287-kilometer journey to South Georgia in the 6.9-meter James Caird, with the rest of his men left behind.
May 10, 1916.
After 17 days in stormy seas, the James Caird miraculously arrives on the west coast of South Georgia.
May 20, 1916.
After 36 hours of trekking over glacier-covered mountains, Shackleton arrives at the Stromness whaling station on the east coast.
May 23, 1916.
Shackleton departs on the English-owned Southern Sky to rescue his men on Elephant Island, but is stopped by ice about 161 kilometers short of the island.
August 25th, 1916.
Chilean authorities loaned Shackleton the Yelcho, a small steamboat, which set sail for Elephant Island.
August 30th, 1916.
Shackleton arrives with the Yelcho, which rescued the party almost 22 months after they had set out from South Georgia. Shackleton's extraordinary leadership skills contributed to these 27 men successfully surviving the 1.5 years they were stranded in the Antarctic. When the ship became locked in pack ice, Shackleton's calm and confidence were encouraging to his crew. When he found it impossible to free the ship from the ice, he did not show the slightest sign of disappointment. During the agonizing boat journey to South Georgia, one crew member wrote, "No matter how bad things were, he somehow inspired us with the feeling that he could make things better." Shackleton sustained morale and created a perfectly unified team by keeping everyone busy and equal. For example, Shackleton had scientists scrub floors alongside seamen, and university professors eat beside fishermen. Though called the boss, he did not differentiate himself from his men. After abandoning the ship, he literally served his men. Rising early in the morning, he made hot milk and personally delivered it to every tent in the camp. When Shackleton died of a heart attack in 1922, his body was going to be brought back to England. His wife, however, realized that the best place for him to lie was in the gateway to the part of the world that had meant the most to him, the Antarctic. Today, Sir Ernest Shackleton, the great explorer, rests in peace on South Georgia.